Sub knife people, back again with more of these knives. Quick look at this QSP Penguin, denim micarta, dark stone washed. This is my carry for the day. Cool little workhorse of a knife. This is just kind of the oil that spilled out that came from the factory, which will probably go away, or I just probably add some more oil to it. But cool little workhorse of a knife on copper washers, thumb studs. Really cool micarta as well. Kind of like this pair 3 that I have. So it's actual denim micarta. So really cool little knife. If you can get your hands on one for a budget price, can't beat it. But that's not what we're here for today. I'll put it aside. We're gonna get into another knife that was lent to me by a friend, Steve. Thank you for letting me check this out. I do recommend, if you guys are able to get your hands on knives, either through friends or maybe even go to a store and get your hands on them first before you go ahead and buy stuff. Otherwise, you do spend a lot of money, you know, trying to figure out what you like and what doesn't work for you. So again, I know all these opinions are subjective, but I'm gonna just give you my point of view and give you my thoughts on it. So this is what I got, the Spyderco Gayle Bradley 2. It is a Spyderco knife, of course. Comes with a little information packet there, a little bit about Gayle Bradley, how he's a knife designer, was in some kind of competition cutting championship or something like that. So it is made by someone who knows a lot about knives. So let me just kind of give you my thoughts again and see where we end up. So I'll give you the specs in a second, but let's kind of go through it real quick. Again, you got a 4-way clip. This is an aftermarket clip that was put on. I think it's a Lynch clip. So you got 4-way, pocket clip carry, open construction in the back, barrel spacers. You have stainless steel liners that kind of protrude a little bit out of the handle. You see that? You got a Spidey hole opening, so opening, you can either roll it out. Let's check out those liners real quick again while we're there. See, they're milled out a little bit. So you can roll out, you can reverse flick it, or you can even thumb flick it there. So you do have a couple options to open, but very smooth opening and closing. Not drop shutty. It is on some phosphor bronze washers in there. You can tell them right there on the top. But yeah, very smooth, very nice design, substantial knife, very pretty much a workhorse of a knife, honestly. You got a nice hollow ground blade there, an M4. You see the hollow there. Nice drop point with a swedge on top here. Give it a nice little design feature there. Very nice touch. So really like the shape of that blade. Very good for cutting, very slicey, nice and thin behind the edge. That's Gayle Bradley's maker's mark, made in Taichung, Taiwan. Just a beautiful looking knife there. Some nice satin grinds there. See that? Nice. Got a little sharpening choil here at the little cutout to sharpen it up. Kind of give you a little underneath look there. So yeah, so that's pretty much the blade. Nice steel, nice competitive steel with the M4. Very strong and will wear resistance. Let's get into the handle a little bit. So the handle here You got a nice full grip handle here. I got large size hands, so you do got a little extra room there if you got bigger hands. Again, you got the 4-way clip. Got a little kind of indentation here for your finger, for your index finger. So really full grip to get a lot of leverage in cutting. You got a little jimping back here on the top. Not sharp, just nice and perfect. So very, very good for, you know, leverage cuts and stuff like that. And I really like the point, how it's kind of center line here of the knife, which is kind of why I don't like clip points too much or upswept tips, because I like to poke in and stuff, and most of the stuff I use for cutting is kind of poking into it, bags, things like that. So let's talk about the handle a little bit. Again, this is an aftermarket clip. This isn't a lanyard post or nothing. It is just tied onto the barrel spacer back here. So it is possible to put it on there. It doesn't affect the closing. So you got this kind of G10 carbon fiber composite, or G10 laminate they call it. At first I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it does have this nice texture to it. So you do get a lot of good grip. You won't slip on it. Not very shiny if you're really into carbon fiber. It sort of looks like carbon fiber, but you know, you do get that nice traction. So I do like it, even though I didn't think I would. So yeah, closer look at that. Nice little weave pattern. Again, got some black hardware. And what else here? So let's talk about this liner lock here. So we got this nice high performance liner lock, as they called it, with a little relief cut on this side. Engages really well right there, a little bit more than 50. But you do have very little space to get in there. So it has these little weird little cuts that they put on this side of the liner, so you can get in there and really unlock it. So there's the centering, very nice. Again, locks up very well, very strong. But again, you got very minimal space to get up in there, which is probably the only downside I think that I could see on this knife for some people. I do wish the little hump here would either be a little out more, so you can get more of that Spidey hole as well. Kind of when you're, it doesn't affect it too much, but I guess just for looks. So again, you can drop shut it with one swing. Once you break it in, you see the lanyard doesn't affect it there. But just a gorgeous looking knife, very well designed, very stout knife. So let's get you some little specs here and some comparisons, and we'll go from there. So here we go. Let's get you some little calibrated specs here. In inches, the blade thickness. So you're looking at 0.12 thickness blade up at the tip. Narrows down pretty good. 0.2, maybe a little thinner at the tip. So you do get some narrowing at the tip there. Blade handle thickness, about 1/2 inch, so it's not too thick, nice and thin. And here we go on the liners, about 1 inch thick there. Carrying in pocket was a little, it was fine if you're standing up most of the time, but if you're sitting down a lot like me, the knife is pretty long, so it does sit pretty deep in your pocket, especially with this deep clip, and you do notice it. So if you're standing up, you might not feel it as much, but if you're sitting down, you do feel it. You see how it cuts. Let me see. It was pretty sharp to begin with. It keeps it pretty sharp. So very nice and sharp. That M4 will hold up very nice. See that nice straight cuts. So that's no problem there. Just keep it nice and sharp. Let's give you a quick little look at a hand. Very nice looking knife. Really dig it. Let's line it up here. Give you the full specs. So we're looking at 8, probably about a little bit 8.5 inches overall. So you got cutting length about 3.5, about 3 3/4 with that little cutout. And handle length, again, you got about 1 to about 4.5 inches there of just handle. So definitely a very nice size, especially for big hands, if you're gonna use it as a work knife. So really digging that. Had no problems with it. I used it lightly. I didn't overload it. I didn't want to mess up his knife. So it did fine for me, for my cutting tasks. Give you the weight. It's a little bit more on the heavy side, 4.3 ounces. But for the size knife, it's very doable. So 4.3 ounces. Again, nice and flicky, super smooth action. Had no problem with it. You know, other than, like I said, the really, you know, minimal space you have to get into the liner. And if you have a problem with that, other than that, it's just a beautiful knife. Just an awesome worker. Comparing it to Sabenza, which I you know, tried a couple months back, I prefer this one, quite honestly, over the Sabenza. It just has a cleaner look to me, and then you can Spidey flick it. So yeah, so I'd go for this one over a Sabenza probably any day. I know some of you might not think that, but it's, you know, it's what I think. So let's do some comparisons and kind of go on your way. Here we go. We got the Spyderco Shaman, again with a compression lock, one of the bigger knives in Spyderco's line. And this is my favorite so far out of all the Spydercos. So that's one. And then we also have, I showed you earlier, the pair of 3 CPM 27 or Spy 27 compression lock with the denim micarta. Another one of my favorites in more minimal carry. So trying to give you a little size difference there. You kind of see where it falls. Still a little bit longer actually than the Shaman. So just a dope ass knife. Really dig it. Hopefully it comes out with a version 3 with a little different either materials or even blacked out. Would be like super dope. Really like to see that M4 coated and like all blacked out. That would look super dope on this. So I'm gonna look out for that. So say bye to the Shaman. And what else? What else do I got here? I'll show you a couple other knives I have here. Benchmade Griptilian, original Griptilian. This is from the custom shop. And of course, M4. How Apostle P says it. Deep clip. Again, that coated M4 because it isn't stainless. So nice opening as well. So looks very similar to that as well, honestly, except for the sheep foot. Or actually, yeah, we'll show it right now. And of course, a little Benchmade look here. Just some canvas micarta scales. S30V. Show you the size difference there. So a lot of little similarities in blade shape. Unfortunately, they don't make the grip healing hollow ground anymore. Would probably be more like it, but yeah. You can see how it has just that forward tip. So yeah, really my style of knife, honestly. But gotta send it back home. I think he got some new scales for it, so that Gayle Bradley is gonna be changing up a little bit. I think he said he got some marble carbon fiber for him. Apparently he doesn't like the laminate, which I like it. I think it's pretty cool. So let me see, I got 2 more knives here to show you. Of course, the new Lee Frankenstein, what is this, Conspirator. I switched the dark blade with the handle, with the wood handle. Looks a lot better. Let me know what you guys think. I think it looks bitchin' like that. Thanks to Hollywood, he hooked me up, let me switch blades on his knife. So came out pretty dope. Definite daddy's knife here with the wood scales. So again, big knife as well. That's why I'm putting it up there. And also another fidgeter, the AD 20.5 Demco Shark Lock. A little bit smaller, but again, got that blade opening. And just a cool little knife. So again, a little bigger than the 80 Demco, right in that size range of the Conspirator, actually a little bit longer. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. I don't know what else I can touch on. Yeah, look at that, nice wood. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys are doing good out there. That's my kind of final thoughts and you know, kind of my overall rundown on this Gayle Bradley 2. I would recommend getting one if you can get your hands on one, if you really want a, you know, kind of worker Spyderco, no nonsense knife. Again, it's not a fidget knife, but you know, the washers do break in pretty nice, and you can flick it a couple different ways, or even just the rollout. Very you know, very satisfying. But yeah, very good grip, very good worker, and I definitely do recommend it to anybody that can get their hands on it. So again, those are my thoughts on the Gayle Bradley 2 Spyderco. Thank you guys for tuning in to these knives. Y'all know where to find me. Tell friends, tell family. Tune back in for some more knife stuff. Carry your knives. And as always, y'all know where to find me. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have a good one.